if you ain't getting paper. I take a rain check and see your ass later. Mano, let's go. Hello, they know we flow. Get dope for show. Hello, jealous boys, I blow them kisses like Jada. Big up to all my haters.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Taco Talk Tuesday. How y'all feeling? Everybody good?
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hello.
All right, so everybody, go ahead and start down there and introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Daryl Blaylock, actor, and yeah.
I guess I would be next. I am Sandra Solomon.
Hey, Sandra.
Have. Next.
I'm Andre Watson, and I am not an actor. That's it.
And that works. Y'all, welcome to the show. We got
Thank you.
first times here. I hope y'all enjoy it tonight. How was everybody's weekend? Anybody do anything?
Yeah, I had a fish fry this weekend. Nobody came, but it's all good. God is good. God was blessed. It was blessed. I made okra, fish.
Made
How you make okra?
I fried some okra.
Fried it up.
You already know now. Come on, but it was cool though. But, had a lot of people come. A lot of my regulars do it for me, so it's always good to be appreciated and always good to be celebrated. So.
Awesome. How was your weekend?
Aside from a little bee that stung me on the neck.
That's what we call
And
it
that's
now.
the story we sticking with.
That's what we call it.
It's a bee.
Oh yeah, that was a big bee.
That was a real big bee.
Other than that, down to San Diego, had lunch, dinner.
that too.
For real?
Yeah, I went to San Diego on Friday. I was there for a night. Hung out with some friends. It was cool.
Ooh, nice.
See, I was in
Yes.
San Diego last weekend.
What?
See.
When you was in San Diego,
Last weekend. I was.
I can't even go down the street. You are in San Diego, Peru, Africa.
Look.
Tell me about it. Every time I look on Facebook,
Somewhere.
Jeffrey somewhere.
Listen, we gotta make moves.
Jeffrey
Gotta
everywhere.
go. You said you were in San Diego also. That's cool. I was right here in LA. For some reason, I cannot remember Friday. I didn't do anything, but I can't remember Friday.
It took me a while to remember too.
It's something about Friday I just can't remember it. Saturday was very chill. I saw my friend Jessica, who I have not seen in like over a month or whatever. So I got to see her. And Sunday was Sunday fun day. Hung out with some friends, randomness, bars, drinking, all that. That was the weekend. All right, so
Enjoying life.
everybody, we have these beautiful shot glasses in front of us. The way we start things here at Taco Talk Tuesday, we always start with a shot. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Welcome.
Let's go.
It's a big ass shot.
Okay.
Can I do
Uh-oh.
it the girl
Oh.
way? Okay. It tastes good.
Yeah, we try. I know Daryl ain't down there tripping. So let's jump right. We're gonna jump right into it, you guys. So of course, the first thing we are talking about today, last night, depending on what day you're seeing this, is currently Tuesday. So Monday, September 26th, was the very first presidential debate between Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton, Republican candidate Donald Trump. Did you guys tune in?
Yes.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the debate had 80 million plus viewers tuned in. They're saying that was
Unheard
more
of.
than the
Most of
Super
all
Bowl.
time. I think they said it's the
biggest
most of all time.
The most of all time. It was
For
bigger than
debate?
the Super Bowl and everything. Real quick, play a few clips, a few highlights, if you will, from the debate, and we'll come back and talk about it.
Okay.
And that will be almost as bad as NAFTA. Nothing will ever
Well,
top NAFTA.
That is just not accurate. I was against it once it was finally negotiated and the terms were laid out. I wrote about that in.
You called it the
I
gold
wrote about-
standard.
Well, I hope
you called it the gold standard of trade
And
deals. You
you know
said it's
what?
the finest deal you've ever seen.
No.
And then I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes. When she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted, as soon as she releases them, I will release my tax returns.
We have to restore trust between communities and the police. We have to work to make sure that our police are using the best training, the best techniques, that they're well prepared.
And that's law and order. And we need law and order. If we don't have it, we're not going to have a country.
All right. So, what did you guys think about last night's debate?
Well, I will tell you, I call Hillary girl 2 times. That's my girl. She was on point with a couple of things, and I just wanted to jump through the TV and just choke Trump. But Trump has some valid points, but I feel like all he talked about was money.
Yeah.
Yes. Even, when he was talking about, my biggest thing of everything that Lester Holt asked him was when they were discussing race. And Trump, when he brought up Charlotte, he was talking about because he had businesses in Charlotte. When he was speaking about Chicago, he's like, because I have a great, business in Chicago. That's why it seems like it's important to him because it's about money. He doesn't care. But my issue was the race segment, the way I expected Trump to give an answer the way he did. But for Hillary, I was very disappointed in her answer.
Right.
Because she was saying we need to, educate and teach our cops how to police and everything. Honestly, Hillary, all she had to do was stand up and say, Black Lives Matter.
Boom.
That would have been it. I'd have been done.
In what world would she have said Black Lives Matter?
I know. Maybe not. It's something just specifically to the African American community. She made a very general statement as if he didn't say how to improve race, more so how to improve everything for everybody. She didn't I don't feel like she specifically spoke to the issue at hand, which is Black lives, Black people being killed by the police.
But to be honest, I think the whole debate was kind of vanilla. It's like like NFL or even college when you have football, like in the scrimmage in the spring instead of in the fall. It's like everybody was holding on to their game plan. Mm-hmm. Everybody playing everything close to the vest. But one thing that kind of struck with me was how Trump was very for the first 30 minutes. You could tell he was kind of like, okay, I have my bearings. He gave a couple of substantive points, but then after that first 30 minutes, man, he was getting slapped around left and right. And when I tell you that he's the king of redundancy, he is super redundant. It's always gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Just watch to see. And the last point I want to make is how petty he is.
Oh my God.
Hillary got experience, but it's bad experience. That was
it. He kept saying, yes, she has experience, but it's bad experience.
Like, come on, bro. Like, everyone knows that she has been in the public sector for over 30 years, whether she's been a Secretary of State.
The funniest part, the shadiest part, he said she's been fighting ISIS her entire adult life.
Right. Like, come on, bro. Come on. So, at that point, it was petty. Nobody was getting no points across. I mean, you see the looks between each other, and he drank so much water.
But you expect Trump to be petty. I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
He came out strong for maybe I'll give him 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He had some points. He knew what he wanted to talk about. And then, I mean, he don't have an attention span.
Yeah.
So after about 20 minutes, he was over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And she had practiced, was prepared.
Oh yeah, she did her homework.
She did her work.
She did her homework.
She's debated before. She's debated. Formidable people.
Right.
So she just came better prepared.
She was
and
very poised.
And he thought he was going to be able to do what you said, make those redundant points and do like that.
Yeah.
But when she started to throw it back at him, he didn't know what to do.
Right, because she kind of went in at the end when she started getting her digs.
Yeah.
There were so many opportunities where she could have just nailed him, but she
didn't.
Yeah.
And
that's where I was disappointed.
I think she was busy
Hillary.
being nice.
Right.
She was busy being nice,
what it was.
and she was busy
He did not let
trying
her
to
get a word
be
in.
what she thought she was supposed to be for an audience
Exactly.
or whatever.
But think about it though. She's a woman. She can't be a super.
And it ain't fair. It's not fair.
I
Because,
agree.
they tell her she needs to smile. They tell her she needs to do this more. She smiled too damn much.
That's one of the things, though, but they say
Because
in the
when
debate,
he was coming at her, I wouldn't have been smiling. I wanted her to get mad.
Yeah.
I wanted her to get petty, like you said. There were a couple of things she could have said that
Of course.
she could have dug him a
Of
little.
course she could have. Of course she could have. My thing was Lester Holt, y'all. I love Lester, y'all.
Oh my God.
I love Lester.
Lester was not there.
I like
Come on,
Lester
bro.
until last night.
Lester
Come
was
on,
sitting at that
bro.
table playing Pokemon Go. He was not.
He was not there.
He was not.
In Lester's
controlling that
defense,
debate.
though, I mean, the way the debate was set up, he was supposed to let them go at it. He wasn't really supposed to jump in and that sort of thing. But there were moments.
I can understand that, but
You
equally,
gotta check Donald
you have
Trump
to
when
check
he's lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
When he's lying, when he's over talking everything, because when Lester was trying to move on to another question,
Right.
or even when it was Hillary's turn to answer,
Yeah, that's what you
Donald
said about-
Trump he just kept inserting himself, and Lester. I don't know what they tell him in his contract, like don't say nothing, don't say
Right.
nothing, and we don't know that, so we looking at Lester like he a punk.
Right.
But it's a totally different feel when you got Wolf Blitzer narrating it, or you have Katie Couric, or you have someone who got a little bit more pull.
Yeah, but it's Donald Trump.
They
It's
ain't
different.
pull that with
It's a
Megyn Kelly.
different. It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
When you're talking about Donald Trump, it just changes. The
I
whole
think so.
thing.
Yeah.
I think you have to take Donald Trump one-on-one. So the same way he's dishing it out, you have to dish it back at him because that's what he understands.
Well, I tell you what, Hillary
No.
did dangle a couple stuff in front of his face, and he took the bite, and he took the bit, and then he ended up getting real personal, and that's when you know, like, come on, bro, you didn't do your work. Like, she
Right.
studied you, but you didn't really study her.
That's a good strategy.
Back to Lester Holt real quick. He should have had a button.
Cut that mic off.
I was gonna say, she deserved to turn the lights off.
Right.
That's all
Yeah,
you
he
need.
should have had two buttons. Two buttons. Your
That's
time's
all
up.
you need.
Time's up.
And he gonna be
Well-
like, it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged.
It's a couple other things that came out from the debate. So two people that were in Trump's corner and have been vocally in Trump's corner. Former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, he said that he calls Clinton too stupid to be president because she didn't know about her husband's affair.
Come on, bro.
Oh, she knew.
Giuliani.
She knew when she went to the bathroom. Come on.
Giuliani cascaded Clinton for what he said was an effort to shame Lewinsky then when she was then an intern following the exposure of the sexual relationship with her and former President Bill Clinton. His quote is, "The President of the United States, her husband disgraced his country with what he did in the Oval Office, and she didn't just stand by him, she attacked Monica Lewinsky. And after being
Most
married
women
to
do
Bill,
that.
and after being married to Bill Clinton for 20 years, if you didn't know the moment Monica Lewinsky said that Bill Clinton violated her, that she was telling the truth, then you're too stupid to be president."
Giuliani need to fix his teeth, first of all. The bottom row is so jacked up, he has no room to talk. That's why he don't never show him. Look at him.
Well, that bottom row, it's all good.
I never noticed.
Come on, man.
Yo,
Look,
at the end of the day, that's a husband and a wife is going to defend her husband,
Right.
and they're going to deal with what they got to deal with internally,
But it's like,
and then they're going to step out together as husband and wife.
and I get that,
If
but it's
they decide-
that being Bill's, does it affect your choice on who's going to be, and you
No,
voting for
No,
Hillary?
I mean, that happened 30
Hey,
years
that
ago.
happened.
Me too.
They're humans.
And so people keep bringing it up, and I think that's a lot of the issues with Hillary. Just like last night, Trump brought up he'll release his taxes when she releases the emails thing.
Right.
We moved past the emails.
Right.
That's right.
But it's like people keep bringing it up.
My thing is this: as a woman, not even a woman. If someone ever cheated on you and you're in a marriage, and you decide to stay, people forget the vows that you take. And if you decide you want to stay and work it out, it takes just as much strength to stay as it does to leave.
Okay, so for example, if you marry somebody and what is it, when you're death do us part through sickness
Vows.
and illness, when that male or that female start getting crazy on you and affecting you,
That's sickness.
you're like, it's a wrap.
That is sickness.
Right. That is
Right.
sickness. But then at the point where that sickness is killing you, no, it's a wrap. No, so if you can make it through your marriage and life is not easy. So if you can make it through your marriage, then more power to you. But that's the power of the Clintons. When you can stay together and get rid of all that minutia,
Right. Yeah.
keep moving.
Well, also
It's vision.
Right. Also,
Vision.
Right.
Newt Gingrich was in Donald Trump's corner saying
Newt
that he
ain't got
wanted
no
to
room to
debate.
talk.
No room.
He says Trump wins strategically because, in a blunt, clear style, he is saying things most Americans believe. Trump's opponent, including Holt and Clinton, felt good after the debate because their side was glib, articulate, and said they and their friends believe to be true.
I'm tired of people hiding behind that or using that whole cliche of, not cliche, but colloquialism, saying that, he said whatever all Americans want to say.
Right.
Forget
He
that.
ain't saying what I
Like,
wanna
he
say.
said nothing I wanted to
It ain't
say.
nothing that I wanted to say come out of Donald Trump's mouth.
Right.
Yeah, but you do have to acknowledge that there are some people that do agree and believe in what
There
he's
are
saying.
a lot of
A
people.
lot of
that
people.
do.
And
Not some. It's
and
a
that's the
lot.
scary part. The scary part is that even after all of that going back and forth, and you can sit here and say that Hillary did a great job, which she did, but there's still people out there today that's talking about he won this debate because he was real or honest or all this other stuff. So I'm like,
At that point, you're
what
dumb
real
and
and what honest are they
uneducated.
saying? Well, that's a good point to bring up,
Right.
because the battle is against the educated versus non.
Yeah. I agree.
You're absolutely right.
I might argue that there are more non-educated than
I
educated
concur
in this
100%.
country. So that's something to think about.
One funny thing, I was at my friend's house for a moment, and they're Canadian. He's and they're from Montreal. But so we were watching it. I was watching the debate part at the end of it, like the last 10-15 minutes with them. So I watched the rest of it later at home. But they was like, well, Daryl, what you gonna do? They said, what you gonna do when he get elected? Like, we got somewhere to go.
Win.
They said, what you gonna do?
When he get elected, I'm joining the NRA. It was black woman with a gun. I'm gonna be in the NRA. I already know how to shoot.
You know what? I think you might go too much.
We're saying you can't beat him, join him.
Might as well.
Look, well, and y'all. So last thing that came out of this debate, which is a big topic today, is when Hillary brought up how Donald Trump, he insulted Alicia Machado, who was the former Miss Universe, and he called her Miss Piggy. He said when she brought up the person, I know the person that was Miss Universe, and she was the worst we ever had. Those were words out of Trump's mouth. The worst, the absolute worst. She was impossible, and she was Miss Universe contestant and ultimately a winner. Then had a tremendously difficult time with being Miss Universe. She gained massive amount of weight, and it was a real problem.
What was massive? Like, how was we talking about?
This is a picture of. This is a picture of Alicia Machado.
She alright.
She looks great.
Right.
She get the business. She look alright to me.
Trump said she gained a massive amount of weight, and that was a problem.
He's so low down, man.
He has issues.
Ain't it his pageant? Ain't it his pageant?
It's his pageant. People are still voting for this man. This is an issue that, again, he doesn't know how to speak to women. He insults women. Yet you see the amount of women that show up to his rallies and his speeches.
But this goes to the point that I think Hillary did a great job in it. She found a way to bring it in, introduce it, and the best part about it was that they were ready to go today. They had her on shows today. She's on shows talking about how she felt, what he did to her, those types of things. And then he goes on this morning and is talking, and it's kind of what they say, doubling down on what he said.
Right.
And instead of just saying, I shouldn't have done that, he's like, that's what I meant.
That's what I said.
Right.
And so, again, the people that like Donald Trump are going to like that he said that.
Yeah.
The people that like Hillary are not going to like that he said that. There's a couple people in the middle that might sway their opinion or whatever. But at the end of the day, I think we're pretty locked where we feel, where we are.
It's a scary thing.
It's scary.
It's damn near 50-50 right now.
Be president.
Anything can happen right now.
So speaking about that is scary. What about the frisk and?
How you gonna get that one?
You know what? Yes. So
Law and order.
That was also part of the race question.
Right.
Donald Trump
You jumped in the race too quick for me.
I need
to warn.
It was so many points. Again, it was so much that happened. Yes, so Donald Trump believed that frisk and search, which was started by former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, is needed to be implemented to keep crime down, and that will fix the race problem.
And then remember he was talking about his properties in Chicago and so forth. And he said, "Oh yeah, these kids who got these guns, who don't need these bad people who has guns, who don't need no guns.
These bad people.
Talking about thousands of people."
And he said that they were gang members.
Right.
I don't remember Dylan Roof being in the gang.
Right.
He walked into that church in South Carolina, shot all them people. I don't remember him holding up gang signs or anything.
Right.
I don't remember. I'm sorry, so many names of white men that have shot up and killed places. I don't remember any of them being a part of gang affiliations.
The crazy thing to me was the fact that he has so much support from the NRA, and he always for the right to carry. But then you talk about Chicago. It's a place. We know they have gun problems. We know they have. He was saying eliminate guns like they did in New York. Stop and frisk so that you can get the bad people off the street, because there's not a bad people. Thousands of people are being killed. Thousands. I'm like, where you getting these numbers at? Because they thousands.
Bad people are on the street
everywhere.
The bad people are Betty Shelby, who just shot Terrence Crutcher in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
The gangs are
the 6 police officers that killed Freddie Gray in Baltimore. Like those are the bad people. They're a part of the police force, so that's a gang right there.
But you're gonna have Black America though. But you have the Black America best interest at heart though.
Okay,
Get the fuck out of here.
So honestly, ask yourself, if this man truly became president on November 9th, we wake up, like really personally, what would go through your mind at the moment you hear it on the news that Trump becomes president?
It'd be the same effect that we hear. Remember when Barack became president, how it was so surreal?
It was so surreal.
Like you were like, wait a minute.
I remember where I was the day that night that happened.
I was around the damn corner. I voted right down here at the church right here. Like right there. Like I was like, wait a minute. I was driving. I'm like, wait a minute. We got a black president? Same way it's gonna be. Wait a minute. Trump president? Like, come on, bro.
I just always hope though, because a lot of the Republican Party has come out against Trump as well. So depending on who is controlling the House and the Senate and everything, just because he is president does not mean what he says is law goes. And I'm hoping that again the people in the House that the votes and everything have to go through are wise enough, are woke enough to be like, okay, this idiot has the title, but we're not going to let him just have free reign over this
Nobody's
country.
woke.
Yeah,
They're not woke.
I said hope.
Is that what you think?
I said hope.
But they're not though. What's the dude was his biggest arch rival in the primaries? They just endorsed him.
yeah.
Ted
Cruz?
Cruz.
Was it
Ted
Cruz or
Cruz.
Casey?
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Okay.
Ted Cruz.
This man vehemently despised Trump, but all of a sudden he got his approval, he got his blessing. Then all of a sudden they say, well, but he said because I had a stern talk with Trump and he made sure that my initiatives would be mentioned at the forefront of his presidency. Bullshit.
But then you have people like former President George Bush who said he's voting for Hillary. You have Jeb Bush who was running for president said he's not voting for Trump. He didn't necessarily say he's voting for Hillary, but he said he's not voting.
Well, that's a good distinction because at the end of the day, what we're talking about white man versus others. And everything else, everyone else is an other. And white men feel like they're about to lose their power. Well, they've been feeling that for the last 8 years. And so now that's why we're seeing what we're seeing in terms of, people feeling that they could express their, racial views and racist views and all those other things.
They've been feeling
and
like
so they
that
are
for a
trying to
long
protect.
time.
They're trying to protect this white man, position of power so much that they will choose someone like Donald Trump over the more qualified candidate, whom they know is more qualified.
Well, I've said it several times, and on this show, personally, I'm not excited or wanting to have either one of these as my president. However, I cannot in my heart do two things. I can't vote for Donald Trump,
Right.
and I can't not vote so that Donald could ultimately have my vote. So Hillary does have my vote, but am I excited that she, that I might, like you said, wake up and they say Hillary Clinton is president?
Right.
It'll be a sign of relief because it's not Donald Trump.
Right.
But I won't be, I'm not excited. I'm really not.
Can
I don't think anybody's excited.
I was having a conversation with my girlfriend last night, and she was talking about the idea of race war. And I know this is a separate topic, but this is tied into race because a lot of people that feel a certain type of way are coming out the woodwork that support Donald Trump. But she has said, for one, she feels like it's going to be a race war. And she was pretty much saying pretty much like on her Facebook, on her Instagram, and she's from California, from Bay Area. Like a lot of people that she thought that were cool, as far as white people or others, are pretty much like using the word nigger or using you black this, that, the third on Instagram. And I'm like, well, I'm from Mississippi. Like words don't mean nothing until people start lynching, until people start actually just, at your front door, like get out the house with a shotgun. I'm not really dismayed, but how do y'all feel about that?
I don't know. You know what? Words do matter,
Yeah, they do.
and
Words
words
are
matter
important.
in such a way in the tone and how we deliver those words. Because just like it said on Empire, Boo Boo Kitty said, "I could cut you and not mess up my pearls" or something like that.
With my
Words
words.
matter.
With my words.
So there's this code called articulation. That when black people can articulate, that's a code word. Read that Obama book. I think the last book that he put out. How we speak and how we communicate, white folks can easily decipher. Oh, that's the N. Oh, that's a mulatto. Because if you light skin, they feel like you're closer to them.
They can't easily decipher, but they make a decision.
They do make a decision. And I had a coworker once. And it was, when you first see a person, do you look at gender or do you look at race?
Race.
Always race. You're always going to look, what color are they? Oh, and then let me see if I can connect with them. Because we make our decisions by colors that we see. And it's unfortunate. So I'm going to go on a rat hole real quick. But this is one of those questions when you talk about color, and I just have to bring this up. And it has to do with our hair color, because being a black female working in corporate America, as the laws just passed that you can't wear your locks. Yeah. So it was weird. Like sometimes I'll wear my hair like this. It's all natural, and I just do the twisties, but I always pull it up so it's not out and looking to them. intimidating.
Mhm. I was
So
gonna say
it's pulled
offensive
back and
or
tight. It's
yeah.
Well, we've been
Right.
doing that forever.
But when you look at our hair, it's like one of these one of my geeky questions, because our hair, African American hair, is probably one of the only hair type that requires oil, and we use petroleum, which comes out of the earth, oil. Why isn't that other races' hair does not thrive in oil like ours does? Is it something about the DNA in us that we are truly rich people, and other people fear us so much, but we just can't, after so many years of slavery that it's just been rinsed out of us, that we don't realize how powerful and how strong that we really are as a race? We need to come together. And the way we do that is through education. Education is not an option. And that's what we have to do, changing the generations going forward. Education is not an option. It is, a formal education is not an option. And failure is not an option.
Yeah.
And so that's how we start to change the next generation in our thought process.
With Daryl, what you're saying, so it was actually an article that was in our topic. So this UN group, the United Nations Working Group of Experts on People of African Descent, they made a comparison saying contemporary police killings and the trauma that they create are reminiscent of the past racial terror and lynchings. So basically, it's just saying when we wake up and we see another black person that's been killed, it's just like saying, it's been another lynching.
It's like hanging a body.
It's like
You walk having to walk
there you
past
go.
it to school or walk past it to go home.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas stay in line.
The
This can happen to
difficulty
you.
with it, though, is that we all know that it exists. I mean, we've all experienced it. I'm from Chicago. You from Chicago? Where you from? Mississippi.
North Carolina and
North
LA.
Carolina. So we as black people all know that these things exist, and we can have these conversations with each other all day. And so how do we move the conversation forward?
But it's not just, I will say, it's not just us, because I had a friend that just got back from Tokyo and was telling me that over there they were saying they feel sorry for us. So this situation that's going on in America, extended.
When I say we, I mean we black people in
Okay,
America
okay,
versus
okay,
the
okay.
others in America.
Okay.
And one thing, my girlfriend point she was making, because clearly we're used to it, or we have
Right.
experienced in some form of fashion. Especially like when you're in Chicago, or when you came down to Jackson State, or North Carolina, But she was like, I'm not used to this. I'm from California.
When I went to Jackson,
I'm not used to this.
I was not
Yeah.
used to because I went to Jackson. I went to for college. I was 18 going down there, and for me, I grew up in Chicago, the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
Friends, white, Mexican, everything. Race was never. I was never called a nigga as a child. I went 18 years. I was never called a nigga. I was never in situations where I felt discriminated against or just profiled or anything like that. But when I got to Jackson, Mississippi, meeting people from the Bible Belt and from other surrounding areas that had that going on, it was a culture shock to me, and it definitely taught me a lesson. It made me aware of a lot more things that growing up I was not aware of, because my mom, my mom's single parent, she never had to have a race talk with us, or if you're here you have to act like this, because where we grew up, that was not an issue. That was not our issue.
Right.
It wasn't something until later on in life I had to see from my own eyes and deal with myself.
I think my point is that you sort of have to force the conversation with the others, because they don't agree or understand or acknowledge or even get it sometimes.
They don't get it.
They don't get it.
So I know you all have talked about Colin Kaepernick and what he's been doing and all this other stuff. What I can say about that, and I'm proud of, is that it has forced the conversations. Now the issue that I have is that the conversation is focused on the wrong things.
Anything part of it, yeah.
However, it's beginning a conversation, because we can sit here and talk about this all day, but we already know these things.
But brother, the problem is, the conversation is being had,
Absolutely.
but still,
they're missing the point.
Right.
Even the ones that
A lot of
stand
times the
in
point-
support and march with us,
You don't get
you
it.
just don't get. Listen, I appreciate. I got no problems with you, but it's certain parts of Black Lives Matter movement and just being an African American male or female in this country today in 2016 that you do not understand.
Yeah.
Do you really expect for them to
Yeah,
understand?
they'll never understand.
Okay, this is my thing.
Listen, I don't
You
need
don't
them
have to
understand.
empathize with me.
I don't need them to
You
understand.
empathize. But my thing is this: I was having a conversation with a woman on Facebook, and she was telling me how she was a woman, how she's been disenfranchised and I guess and oppressed. Not oppressed. What's the word I'm looking for? Gender bias, according to because she was a woman and she got paid less and treated differently.
Yeah.
And she made that point to me. I said, well, look, you a woman, you've been discriminated against. I'm black. I've been discriminated against. How can you not get it though? I'm not even saying this. I mean, discrimination is discrimination. Unfair is unfair. But she couldn't even get it on the base. I said, if that happened to you, why can't you not get the fact that as a black man, I feel indifferent when I get behind the wheel of a car.
And one of the like you making that point, a friend of mine, I actually just pulled it up on here on Facebook. She made a post this last Friday.
You screenshot it?
No, Gabby, she's on Instagram. Very, a bit blogger. She has her own thing going on. But she posted on Facebook. She said, when your white friends like your post about police brutality, but don't say shit on their own profile. That is like, I was like, oh my God, that is the realest thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is the realest thing I've ever heard. Y'all love it. Y'all like to go to the marches with us, and
you want to kick it with us.
Appreciate
you want to support us,
but you don't.
Don't get us.
You just don't.
I tell people all the time, bro. I was telling my girlfriend last night, and she gets pissed off with me because I'm so old school country Mississippi, Peckerwood. I'd be quick to say Peckerwood, but my thing is, she don't get. I'm like, they don't like you. I say it all the time. You think they're your friend. You think they ride with you. You think y'all done broke bread together. But at the end of the day, when it's time to be black, they ain't nowhere to be found. You think they're gonna give up some blood for you? No, because they're white. That's what they do. And I'm sorry. I'm always gonna feel like that.
Right.
I didn't see them turn so many times.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, bro, wake up, black people in Chicago, in New York, in all these places where we assimilated, wake up. LA, Bay Area, y'all need to wake up because we're not the same.
Okay, so the question.
It
It is a refill.
Man, y'all need to stop this.
So, do you guys know who George Fraser is?
That's the brother from Olympic, right?
No. Okay, so this guy, he talks about generational wealth and building wealth for black people. So yeah, look him up, Dr. George Fraser. Well, anyways.
Generational wealth, okay.
Right, and so it's about what we can do moving forward. It's. I don't know if we can really expect people to really understand what it is to be black, no more than what we can try and get for black folks to understand what it's like to be white, or an Asian person to understand what it's like.
We understand what it's like to be white. Because
wait a minute, how can you?
That's
I mean, we know that's the privileged race,
that's the
but
life that we've. I mean,
but
we are more in those.
Ryan Lochte is what it's like to be white.
Oh,
Ryan Lochte is what it is like to be white. Period.
It pissed me off.
They were kids.
You know what?
Playing.
This is all I'm gonna give to Ryan Lochte. That simple, stupid ass story that he told over there in Rio. That he told his mom, because mom is the one that tricked off.
Mama put the
his
business
mama
out
told
of the
him.
street.
Right. So mom is the one that got his ass in hot water.
Right.
So, but then with all that,
the water wasn't that hot.
The truth came out. Shout out to Al Roker who got
Hey, I need a straw.
And then he took his ass. He's now on Dancing with the Stars, and he got attacked. Well, not attacked, but somebody came back.
He felt attacked.
Somebody, and he white sympathy, white tears. Get your ass out of here, Ryan Lochte.
It's always been a double standard.
If that was a black man, every medal he ever earned from any previous Olympic would have been taken back. He would have never be allowed to swim or jump or whatever.
Case in point, if Ryan Lochte was Plaxico Burress carrying a gun to New York, Ryan Lochte he felt scared.
That's just like, so it's okay. Two points. One, it's this guy. I was watching the news. It's not really something to debate. I don't know if you guys saw, but in San Bernardino yesterday,
Stand
off.
Eric
Nader. Eric Nader.
Right.
So he was in a high-speed chase.
A shot
from a high-speed chase.
I saw that.
Was wielding something.
From I don't know where they were wielding something or whatever. He was able to drive several miles on the freeway,
OJ.
and then OJ style, and then able to get out of his car onto the bridge of the overpass. Almost looked like he was going to jump. They said like he was going to jump and cause a bigger problem, and they tackled him to the ground.
They didn't want
to
him to
arrest him, and had an ambulance come and pick him up, pick his bloody legs up. pick him up and put him on a stretcher to be taken to the hospital. If that was a black man, case in point,
Ambulance?
Terrence Crutcher, who had a stalled car, not a police chase, nothing, a stalled car, his hands up,
Ambulance.
was shot and killed. But yet Eric Nader is alive
Ambulance.
and in a hospital. He was taken by an ambulance, and the police are on doing interviews and everything. Oh my God, this was such, we cared about the lives of everyone else.
Man, fuck that. What happened to Terrence Crutcher? What happened to Cat down Alton Sterling?
Mind you, because he had a what they believe is a weapon. They did have guns drawn at him.
Pow!
However, not a single bullet was fired.
Wait a minute. Were they believed to be a weapon, or was it a weapon? Because when
They
we in this
believed
situation,
to be
we
a
got
weapon.
a weapon. It's a gun. It's a book. No, it's a gun.
Exactly.
Oh,
And it
that
was
one
what you
video?
believe.
What was the one who got the guy who got shot and then they planted the guns and it was on?
It's a couple.
Tulsa?
Which one?
Which
It
one?
was
Which
just on
one?
It was
Which
just
one?
on the video
Pick
like
one.
yesterday. I forgot where it was, but they had already had the guy on the ground
your
and then it was
verdict.
live.
This is
Was
your
it
verdict.
in New Orleans? I mean, I don't know, Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge?
I think so. I
You
think
talking
so.
about last week?
No, well, I just saw
Look,
it. I
listen,
just saw it on
last
Facebook
week,
yesterday.
last month, 2
they
months
don't
ago,
care.
Pick one.
2 minutes ago. But here's a fundamental question that I have, and I cannot get an answer to it. Why is white America so afraid of our skin color? And if you go to the Asian, they actually what do you call it? Worship this little Buddha doll who is as black as this tablecloth on
You
this thing.
go anywhere
Why is our
outside
skin
of this is the
color
thing.
so-
You go
why
anywhere
is it so
outside of
afraid of us?
America. I have a friend who has traveled, currently actually traveling right now, was in Iceland, currently in Africa. My friend Elton, y'all heard Elton on the show. In both of these countries, white people have come up to him because they are so enamored with his dark skin.
Oh, yeah, Elton,
and they tell him he looks like an African warrior, like an African god. They're just so enamored
What?
with him.
Let
in
me
these
go
other
over there. I
countries.
didn't go to Iceland, goddamn.
And again, he's in South Africa, but in Africa, you have these white people. Or I don't know if they're white, like
They're Nordic.
Like
They're
United
white.
States white,
No,
but they're-
no, they real white. They real
right.
white. That's
But
mixed
they are
white.
just so enamored. But here, they're afraid. If you see him see us sitting in a park, you're afraid of.
But you know where that
our
comes
skin
from,
color.
though?
It's about
It
power.
pushes you
Gives
back.
an inch.
It's about power, and it's about the fear of
You're
relinquishing
using
or
Iceland.
losing power. No. That,
I'm assuming they
no,
20
I'm
black
talking about
people in
here.
Iceland.
I'm talking about here.
Yeah. Why
we
here
travel,
in
we
America
travel.
are
It's an
people
American
generally
thing. Let's be
afraid
clear.
of
I tell you what.
our
It's an
skin
American
color?
thing because
want-
there is a power structure in America that is set.
Is it like the one guy said on the white guy? He's not from Chicago. He put it on Facebook that because the color of our skin or whatever, that he read back into the Bible of was it Exodus? Well, with the Pharaoh and Exodus and stuff, how the Pharaoh had the people as slaves, and every time he thought that he was going to suppress them, they rose up. So there's this mindset. According to this minister in Chicago, this white minister who hangs and lives with black people, that says that as black people begin to rise, we put them in jail, they still rise. We enslave them, they still rise. So there is this edict that's out now that says shoot to kill on sight, just like Pharaoh did when Pharaoh said, I can't do this, you shoot and kill them to bring them down. But black people continue to rise, and now black people are in power.
Right.
So is it, and I even said this to someone that was near and dear to me. I said, when we do get a black president, President Obama becomes president, there's going to be such a change and so much violence on black people that it will be just amazing. They're like, no, you're just making that up. And ever since he's been in presidency, how many, just look at the increase in killings and the increase in tax. It is just like we have a target on us: shoot to kill. And I feel so sad for these young black men, these kids that are out there. That I heard something, believe it or not, I heard someone say, couple is going through a bad divorce. The woman, because she's so bitter with the ex, she is taking the young child to the police station to say the police can raise you better than your own father.
Damn.
What do you
That
think is
crazy.
happening to the black men?
I literally just saw this, and I didn't put the story down. I should have. This girl, it was in South. Is that where was Keith Lamont Scott that just got killed?
Tulsa or
No, he
Charlotte?
wasn't
No,
Tulsa.
no,
He was
it
the
wasn't
Carolina.
Charlotte.
It's either North or South Carolina.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Charlotte.
I can't remember. Charlotte. I'm sorry. It was Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte. I'm so sorry about that. This little girl, they were at a town hall meeting, and she was in tears.
I saw that.
She was
Yeah.
in tears. Her name starts with a Z. Last name is Oliphant. I
The
remember
little
that.
girl, she was,
Oh, yeah,
she
yeah,
maybe
Little girl,
9
years old,
Yeah.
in tears, saying, I'm paraphrasing, how we're treated this way because of our skin color, because we are black. And I watched it, and I'm like, a 9-year-old can see this. When I was 9,
Yeah.
again, maybe it's because where I was raised, maybe race wasn't
Yeah.
at such an all-time high at that point.
Yeah.
She was 9 years old in tears and understood because she was a dark-skinned African-American child that people like her are being killed just because of
Ain't
that.
that crazy?
Wow.
It was the
And kids are supposed to be
worst
able to be
thing.
kids. They shouldn't have these
I tell you,
issues
I
that
tell
they have
you,
to deal with.
I tell this story all the time, and I mean, when I was 5 years old, moving from Las Vegas back to Mississippi, and when I knocked on my friend, a white boy from my class, Malcolm Mixon, a business all out in them streets, I knocked on his door, and his mama said, "What are you doing here, you little nigga?" And at that point in my life, I never knew what nigga was, never heard of it, but at that point, I knew I was something that shouldn't have been there to her. And ever since then, I'm sorry, I've been so aware. For my grandfather, watching my granddaddy talk to white people. Oh, yes sir, master. Yes sir, boss. Yeah, I got you, Mr. So and so. As soon as he leave, you go Peckerwood. I can't stand that old Peckerwood. Always trying to get over on me. You know what I'm saying? Or it's my cousin who's Kirky, who's one of the smartest high IQs I know. Who I tried to myself about a year or two ago. I tried to talk to him, and he's an electrician. I said, you can be having your own business right now, right? You can have your own business, make over $100,000 a year because you're so smart. But he said, no. Mr. John like me. He know he take care of me real good.
But you know what that is? That's education. So how do we move beyond this? Because it is education. Because once you become aware and you are travel. I got to give a shout out to
But
now.
real though, all of us can't travel
now
like
boarding
that.
court.
Everybody can travel. That's
Right.
a separate conversation, though.
Right.
That's a separate
But we
conversation.
have to
wanna-
start
okay,
to
then
LA is
change.
an anomaly. I'm gonna tell you now, LA is an anomaly.
We have
Andrew, go ahead and finish. That's a whole other
No,
conversation.
we have to change the tone in the conversation. We could talk about what was done to us and how people treat us, but we have to change that whole paradigm. We have to do a paradigm shift, and the way we do that is that we start talking about something else, and we start elevating ourselves and elevating our thoughts and elevating our children with new and different mindsets. We can't live on the past, and we just have to change it, and we have to be cognizant enough and smart enough to say, okay, I understand where you're coming from,
Right.
but we have to teach these kids how to think 3 and 4 steps ahead.
Yeah.
If we already know,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we know that they're looking at us first as our color. We already know that. So guess what? We already have an advantage. So we need to start thinking 3 and 4 steps ahead. Okay, color is not an issue, but you know what? I'm going to get you with smarts. You're talking about money. All right, we're going to get you with knowledge and money, and I know how to make business. Because when it's really guy to guy, I already know guy to guy. You guys are already talking about how can I get more money out this guy. When you're talking with a white dude, you're talking business. You don't show your poker face.
No.
You don't show your hand. You don't do any of that. You guys are talking about the next move. How can I get money? And that's how this thinks. That's how Donald Trump thinks. Listen to his speech. Bringing it back full circle. Donald Trump is a businessman, and all he talks about is money.
Everything is a business to Donald.
And so we have to get to that point as a race where we're thinking about, when we're talking business to business, or we're talking on those levels, we're talking about business relationships. Behind closed doors, family, whatever, our culture, all that, that's great. But in the street, if we want to make it ahead and really start being cognizant and do better, we have to start thinking like they do. All they think about is dollars and cents, but we got to think 2 and 3 steps ahead. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
because otherwise, we're always
we'll
going
all
to be
be
at
in
the
the same
table
place.
talking about race.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And that's
in this
ridiculous.
all, I felt like somewhere this was all still within the debate because that's what we're talking about.
It is.
But to bring it out,
I'm
because
sorry.
we had a lot of topics very heavy. To lighten up, I don't know if you guys saw it. So with Hillary Clinton this Friday, September 30th, this trailer was released yesterday.
Trailer?
Hillary Clinton.
Are you laughing?
I got to say this.
Y'all, Hillary Clinton will be sitting down. Well, I already sat down since a pre-taped interview. Sitting down with the one and only Mary
J. Blige, yeah,
Blige.
she made us. I heard it on the radio.
That's what I'm with y'all right
Oh
now.
my God.
I'm through
We
with
got
y'all
the
right now.
trailer. I'm gonna play this trailer
gotta
for
see
y'all.
I got you laughing
And
so
we are
hard.
gonna come back and talk about this.
Oh my God.
If an officer stops you, always be polite and never ever run away. Promise mama you'll keep your hands inside. Is it a gun? Is it a knife? Is it a wallet? This is your life. It ain't no secret. It ain't no secret. No secret, my friend, you can get killed just for living in your American skin. Oh. I just want to know, where do we go from here?
The 411. So for those of y'all that don't know that may be watching,
They
Mary
don't
J.
know.
Blige first
So they
album
don't
is
know.
called
What's the 411?
So they done named this interview the 411. And when I tell y'all, Black Twitter had
Act it
a
up.
field day with this.
Wait a minute. Wait, where I've been? I've been living
So-
under a rock.
There-
Black
I kind of
Twitter?
saw a little. Black Twitter's a
Black
thing.
Twitter
It's
is
a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's an all microcosm.
Black Twitter was lit
It's
last
all
night.
microcosm.
It was lit last
Wait,
night.
yeah,
with
they
the
sent me the
debate.
link so I can join
I
it.
will have to send
The
you
link?
My favorite, I had to write the link.
So she could join.
So my two favorite videos last night, they took stills of the when Mary was holding Hillary's hand, and one of the videos it was like Mary said, "So you were also a lover and a secretary." It said Hillary, "Yes, I was working every day of the week."
Wait a minute. I'm not sure I'm going to be in this conversation.
And then the other one was Mary J. Blige holding her hand. It was saying, "So what do you plan to do about the hateration in this dancery?" I'm done.
Wait a minute. What'd she say?
Twitter. You know Mary's song, the hateration in this dancery.
They were
Yeah.
just trying to relate
I'm
whatever
so
she could
mad.
be saying to. Yeah.
Hillary sitting here like,
It
It was
was
like-
I'm tuning in.
Where
I'm
are
watching.
we? How do we tune into this?
So
And
it's
where is this-
September
what is
30th.
this?
Again,
Okay.
depending on when you're watching this, it airs Friday, September 30th on Apple Music. You
Apple,
have to
okay.
subscribe to Apple Music or know a friend that has Apple Music.
Okay.
I have a friend that has Apple Music, so
I got Apple Music.
I will.
You ain't got Apple Music? You got all these
I have
iPads and...
Spotify.
I had it.
Don't be bougie.
Free trial.
Don't be bougie.
Free trial.
So yes, I will be tuning in to Mary and Hillary. How the fuck I'm sorry. How did y'all of all people Mary
Mary J.
Oh,
Blige.
listen, no.
crazy.
Mary J. Blige is important to black folks.
She
Very important.
Well, wait.
That's
However,
my girl.
however,
wait.
Mary has been on the fence ever since she did that Burger King commercial.
But we
Right.
still love Mary.
We love Mary. We got a soft
Okay.
spot for Mary.
Right.
But I don't want to.
There
But this is where my problem comes in with Hillary, where I say Hillary will do anything to win.
That black-
Anything for that black vote. You're sitting down with Mary. You're not sitting with Oprah.
Mary
You're
J.
not sitting with Gayle.
Mary J.
You not even sitting at the View with. Well, she's been to the View, so take that back.
Yeah, but you know,
But
Mary J.
you're sitting with Mary J.
Not Patty.
Blige.
Mary
Not
J. Blige has a
Beyonce.
different audience, though. Mary J. Blige has a young audience, a young black audience.
Is her audience
Is it still young?
No, she does. She's still, yeah, she
Hey,
does have
I'm
a young
sorry.
yeah.
They ain't listen to Kaylani now. They ain't listen to Mary J.
They ain't listen to millennials.
They
They not
know.
listening to music.
Hey, they not
We listen to Mary.
Right. Hey, hold up, brother.
We still
Check
young at heart,
yourself.
Dre. We still young
Check
at
yourself, homie. Touche. Check yourself.
Touche.
heart. Right. All right, y'all.
What
So,
am I? Let me check myself.
I want to at least we already going a little long, but I want to get to at least two of these other stories.
What you put in these drinks, boy?
I'm telling you.
So one of them is this right wing gala that happened.
Uh-oh.
Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah.
Oh, what
Let
happened?
me find. Oh, Lord, I don't lost my
What the
place, y'all.
chocolate sister
So-
goddess doing on there with all them white
Oh,
devils?
you about to find out. You about to find out. You about to
Y'all,
find
I'm
out.
sorry, with all the talking there, I lost my place in this. So anyway, this is a right-wing gala where 3 out of 6 of the officers that were in the Freddie
That shot Freddie Gray, or not shot Freddie Gray,
right?
that
Were involved in the Freddie
that
Gray
were charged with the Freddie
killing,
Gray
charged with his
Freddie Gray murder in Maryland.
They were honored
Baltimore.
at this
For what?
gala.
For what?
The right wing gala.
Honored for what?
They were honored.
Exactly. With a standing ovation, mind you.
Honored for what though? For what?
Give me 1 second, let me tell you.
It was. Yeah, it's a good point.
Right. So
What Darnell at?
he was not going to be here.
What Darnell?
So the Baltimore officers who escaped conviction related to Freddie Gray's murder received a hero welcome last week at an annual gala of the right-wing media watchdog Media Research Center. Organizers of the event, which call out liberal media by bestowing outlets and journalists, which called quote-unquote dishonor awards, singled out how police brutality has been covered in the U.S. So the black woman here, this is Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli.
She a sister?
Deneen Borelli.
I don't care if I messed her name up.
I think I need to talk to her real quick.
I don't think
But
she's
yeah,
a sister.
she said, and I quote, she said, "Who will thank
The police.
these officers?
For what?
These officers right here."
You act like they saved some people or something.
Oh,
doing
immediately
their job,
someone
I
made the
guess.
accusation that Freddie Gray had been killed by the police. Said Borelli.
He was.
The accusation grew and grew. There were riots in the streets. And then she goes on to say, no one apologized for ruining their lives. The police officers. No one thanked them for their service or
Coon.
no
Calm
thanked
down,
them
calm down.
for their service or recognize
Coon.
their honor. Who will thank these
Coon.
officers? Who will thank the officers? And at a time they are believed to be vilified.
Coon. She's a coon. Coon.
Yeah, this
Coon.
this one is tough for me. Because
Coonery.
it's
Again.
yes. Agreed.
Coonery.
Agreed.
Calm down. What's up? What's up?
This is the part that's tough for me because I try to be objective and I try to see both sides of the story, but it's difficult for me whenever folks whomever the folks are want to make a point about black people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, all these other things. They find a black person to come in and make that claim for them.
And that
for me is difficult.
People.
Why do you think? Why
That-
do you
that
think
for me
they
is
always
difficult.
find one black?
Because
you
there's
think
always
it's about the money?
because there's always one of us that is about the money.
Always when it's easy.
There's always going to be one of us. Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about us.
Cool.
There's always going to be one of us that is about the money.
I've
Stacey
never heard this one
Dash.
before.
Stacey Dash.
Omarosa.
Oh my God.
Queen Coon.
The guy that is the guy that supports Trump on CNN every
Yeah, that's the preacher.
The
Black
preacher
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Reverend Coon. Reverend Coon.
Sorry.
There will always be one
Always.
of every type of person that will sell their soul to the devil, and that's going to happen. And so I have to take that with a grain of salt and not become upset about it because whatever what's her name
Deneen Borelli.
Danelle Borelli.
This is my thing. If you want to say that this was elite, competent police work, why did a black man die?
Borelli.
At that point, if a black man, if you want to say they saved somebody from a burning building, or they sat there and they saved this woman who was chained, in the back of an abandoned building or somewhere, okay. But somebody died, whether it was negligent, whether it was rude, negligent or not, a person died. So I have respect for that life that was lost. So I'm being honored. Is to sit there and slap in the face is disrespectful, and at this point, it's callous and disrespectful to that person, to Freddie Gray's family, to his life. Because apparently, it doesn't mean nothing. That now they're getting honored.
That's
what
a
you
fact.
mean?
That's a fact. But we already know that those folks that feel how they feel don't care about.
They
Freddie
don't
Gray's
love
life.
us. Michael
The
Jackson
part
said it.
that irritates me the most is Deneen Borelli. That
Coon.
She is the one that is standing on the podium
Kill
giving the
yourself.
speech
Giving
and
them
the
who will
award.
thank these officers for
And the
their
award.
trauma.
That's the part that's problematic. The whole thing is problematic, but that right there is the part that gets me.
Sister,
Right. All right.
where you at?
Deneen. Right. You know, Black
Deneen.
Twitter is letting her have it. Last story that I want to get to, you guys. So last week we talked about it. It's been going on for a while. So Colin Kaepernick from San Francisco 49ers. He, has been having his protest during the national anthem. It sparked so much outrage because being quiet and sitting during the national anthem is the worst thing that anyone in America can do. So recently, LeBron James and Steph Curry, they have shown support.
I don't want to say it.
Two of NBA's biggest stars are weighing in on the Colin Kaepernick silent protest situation. So from LeBron James, he said, "Me standing for the national anthem is something I will do. That's who I am. That's what I believe in. But that doesn't mean I don't respect and don't believe in what Colin Kaepernick is doing. You have the right to voice your opinion." And then Steph Curry, he also said, "I plan on standing. But like I've said, there are ways that everybody can affect the mindset of people around them and the awareness of what's going on without in that moment. With the national anthem playing, kneeling, I've always said I respect Colin, but he took a bold step in that regard to continue the conversation and make it more pointed, but I do plan on standing."
I have no problem with that before, as far as LeBron, because this is the thing. Because LeBron, he's pumped over $40 million into.
Oh, LeBron playing for right there.
Oh, we know, but at the same time,
took his ass right back to Ohio.
At the same time, he's done a lot for the city of Akron. He puts over, he puts kids into school year in, year out. So he does his part, but he did talk about his son. Talk about my son, his 12-year-old, will be driving the next 4 years, and it does concern him. So I get it. At that point, this is the thing. LeBron is up there at the upper echelon with the black people, whereas the Jay-Z's and the Oprahs, where they let you in, and I know you have to play ball, and when you say anything that's disconcerting, they will text you and be like, you know better. So, but their money goes, but their money goes where their mouth is. That's the only reason I give them pass.
But it's honestly this whole thing, because even regardless of what field they're in, athletes, rappers, singers, anything, they're celebrities. They are, certain things. I believe that a lot of these athletes are looking at Colin because I'm not a football watcher, but I've seen people talk about how Colin is not the best quarterback or anything like that. However, if this was Jay-Z and Beyonce sitting, kneeling, or doing something in protest of the national anthem, every celebrity, I don't care, athlete, I don't care, rapper, singer, actor, black, would be sitting there in formation.
I don't agree.
With Jay-Z
I
and
disagree.
Beyonce.
I guess Cam Newton is probably better.
I disagree with that. I don't think. I think that. Well, there's two things at play right here. Number one, the NFL doesn't have a rule stating that you have to stand.
They don't.
The NBA does have a rule. Stating that you have to.
And
stand.
they said recently came out and said, well, we will allow.
But what do Steph and LeBron? What is it?
What they did was what they didn't do was say he shouldn't be doing it. They said, I support him in what he's doing. We're going to do this, and I'm going to do whatever else I can do.
You support
over
him,
there.
but you're doing the opposite.
But is that cowardice?
Is that cowardice?
It could be cowardice. It could be cowardice. It could be trying to keep your pockets tight. It could be all of those things. But it's one thing to say, I support you. I may not support you in the same way and do the same thing, versus saying you shouldn't be doing that. There's other people that are saying he shouldn't be doing Colin Kaepernick shouldn't be kneeling.
But a lot of those people are eating their words right now too after this last two.
We don't care about those people.
Jerry Rice.
What I'm saying is, I can respect.
Came back and took his words back.
I can respect you for saying you support me. I'm gonna do it my way, but I support you. I respect it. I guess
Muhammad Ali ain't walking through that door.
But his way.
I mean, I guess he ain't walking through that door.
Andre, I would understand what you're saying.
Listen, I'm team Kaepernick all day.
This is how I feel.
I'm team Neil all day.
This is how I feel
but I respect.
Regarding LeBron and Steph. Saying I support him, but I'm going to stand. You're saying you support me, but you're going to stand. Those are two opposing things. Like,
right.
what
I agree.
How do you actually feel? Yeah. I don't get why you say you support me, but you're going to stand.
I remember seeing LeBron sit there and pay homage to Jim Brown by bowing to him in the middle of a conference finals game. At the same time, if you know what Jim Brown stood for, back then, Black Power all day. Yeah. I mean, he was the face of the NFL, the best player in NFL history, bar none, until this day. But at the same time, I respect what Kaepernick is doing, but I'm going to do your thing over there, But for me in my house, we're gonna
it's almost like
here's my thing. You are entitled to protest and feel how you feel about whatever. And I don't have an expectation. I don't put an expectation on anybody to protest or do anything. However, when I stand up and protest, you have two choices. You can support me or you can shoot me down.
True.
So they're not shooting the man down.
They're not.
And I'm okay. I'm okay with that because they don't have to.
Dre, they sat there and said, I support him, basically agreeing with him in that. Because Colin ain't saying, fuck the flag, fuck. He's saying what's going on in this country right now.
But we also now know that there are rules. We now know that there are rules in the NBA that are not in the NFL.
But guess what? We also have these things called laws and amendments and whatever else you want to say. But yet, black people that cars are stalled, black people that are selling cigarettes on the corner are being killed. That is against the law.
I'm gonna say this:
them in the NBA, it might be against their rule, but people are being killed.
But listen here. And again, I'm Team Kaepernick all day. But when did kneeling become the only method of protesting how you feel?
This is true. This is true.
Standing with them.
This is what I'm saying. This is true. This is true. When does that become the only way?
Yeah.
But at what point are you black before everything? In the 60s, Muhammad Ali gave up everything.
I'm black before everything, but I'm not giving up everything because I don't have everything.
But I know you don't. But I'm saying LeBron has the world.
Yes.
We're talking about Stephen Curry has the world at their hand. And my thing is this: what point do black become for anything? My endorsement coming for me being black, or do my stance in the in NBA is before black? What point do black? Because I don't get it twisted. I don't have much as an actor on my plane, but if I was Will Smith, I would have something more smart to lose. But at what point do you become Jason Williams and be like, I'm black for everything? And that, at the end of the day, that will make change. When you say I'm black,
that's
for everything.
It's just like literally, it's like the two of them were saying something to hopefully appease black people, but doing the complete opposite.
You straddling the fence, though.
That's really what my problem is with them.
I'm cool with you, what you doing over there, Jeffro, but I'm gonna do my thing right over here.
Question.
Yes.
What color is money?
Green.
White.
Hey.
Well,
that money is green and white. Green, whatever.
That's what I hear.
Depending on what country you're in.
I mean, I'm just saying. I have to say, again, back in the '60s, we had a different point. And back in the '60s, we were so down. We were so black,
but you just said
so everything.
You just said
we don't have the wealth.
But we had daddies in the household.
You just said that he spends his money. You said that LeBron puts his money where his mouth is.
He does. He does.
You can't take every. You can, but you don't have to take every stand.
So you choose your battle.
You absolutely choose your battle.
Okay, well, you know,
because
because
when LeBron kneels and loses his job, he ain't got nothing. He can't do nothing for nobody.
LeBron can afford.
Hold on. I will say, Driver.
That's your opinion of what LeBron can afford.
I agree with you, but he should not have said anything.
No,
Cam Newton said he didn't support him.
Should not have
That's
said
different.
Cam Newton.
That's different.
Cam Newton said, "All right, man, y'all, why y'all playing?"
That is a different. You see what I'm saying?
Let's talk about Cam Newton, though.
I'm sorry, LeBron and Steph. Not just he leaving LeBron.
So what is he gonna say? No comment.
He should not have said anything because
somebody asked him a question. Someone asked him a question.
He said that's like. That is literally like
so
you
what
out there protesting.
How should he have
That's like
that
you
question?
standing up for your HOA, association, and I'm like, I agree with you, but then I'm over here building.
It's like he
get
earmarks or something. It's like he gets pork barrel and earmarks.
So he should have said no comment.
He should have said no comment because honestly,
would you been cool with that? No.
Either way, I wouldn't have been cool. No, either way, I wouldn't have been cool.
But I would be sitting here in limbo right now, like, wait a minute.
I'm not in limbo. I'm cool with what he said. I'm cool with what he said.
You telling me, you know what? I agree with you, but then you going and standing there.
I probably would have had more problem with no comment because I don't know where he stands.
Either way, we know. Well, you know what? Whether he said no comment, or when he said we know where he stands with his pocket. Because that's what both of those.
I'm fine with that, but he can do more with his pocket than he can
do with his
pocket.
voice.
Yep.
I hear what you're saying.
I hear what you're saying. I get it.
He does. He does do something. He does do something with his pocket.
Okay, so Steph, it didn't happen with Steph, but look at LeBron.
I'm not speaking of Steph because I don't know Steph.
Yeah, no, I don't know Steph. I don't know Steph like that.
I don't know what
LeBron.
I know Steph, but I don't know what he does.
LeBron, and I'm just taking this again, taking it from what I see in the media. LeBron left Cleveland, went to Miami. They fucking burned his jersey. They
Them
told
white
him,
folks let him
Nick,
know that they
listen,
don't like him no
them
more.
white folk, if they didn't say white
You ain't a good
playing,
Negro.
They knew the
You ain't a good Negro.
They knew the N-word.
Oh, did he say Negro?
They-
He might as well. He had like his damn property left.
And then he came back. You see how these white folks treated you because you
Yeah.
you wanted to do something different. So you wanting to kneel for the flag, take that as you're doing something different.
But he came back for the city.
He came for the city. He came
I'm
back for
telling
that
you, it's not
fucking
about
contract.
black and white. It's about this
It is
color
about,
right
that's
here.
about money.
Y'all, so that's
It's
gonna
about
do,
money.
That's
That's
gonna do it
about
for Hot
this
Topics.
color.
So at the end of the day, what's
Yeah.
it about?
It's about this color right
That
here. It's
green
called
and
green. Called
It
money.
is about money.
It's
Yeah,
called
so that's
dollar
gonna
bill.
do it for Hot
Y'all
Topics.
got me
get
drunk.
some.
I ain't never been
We have
drunk yet.
taken
Let's go
so
get
much
some.
time into this. We're gonna take a very quick break, y'all, and we will be right back with viewer questions because we actually have some of those.
Do it.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Have you ever had black privilege? Last winter, I went to ice skate downtown. There was about 200 white people in line to get tickets. The black security guard came to the back of the line. It was like, brother, come on down. I was like, no, this is what it feels like. He came back and got me, and I was so
He came back
appreciative.
and-
On them trees.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. That was where we at. All right, y'all. That was time for viewer questions, guys. If you have a question you would like for us to help answer, give advice on, email us. It's tacotalktuesday@gmail.com. How are y'all feeling?
Wonderful.
Everybody's
I'm
great.
I feel good.
All right. So, first
Did
question.
you know I just knew about the word 5 years ago?
Faded?
As
As I take a sip.
All right, y'all. So our first
Baby
question
step.
tonight, it says, I am a single mom in my 40s and my daughter is 12 years old. And my last relationship 10 years ago, which was not with her father, I took a leave of absence from the dating world to concentrate on myself, being the best mother that I could be. Well, fast forward to today, when I attempt to talk to anyone of the opposite sex, my daughter has a fit. She has hidden my car keys and my phone. She pouts if I goes out and behaves like an all-out brat. I reassured her that I love her and always will. Also, I would never allow someone around her if I had any suspicion that they might not be good for her, but nothing works. I've spoken with only one person I would even think of introducing her to, but I'm afraid of her attitude. Now, what's the best way to enter into the dating world without hurting my child? I want to date, but my child won't let me. Help.
Where's the daddy?
Okay.
Okay, we didn't get that information.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you know, you have to co-parent. So you want to date, and if your daughter sees both parents dating, she may say, well, gosh, Mom, if Dad's dating, maybe you should date too. Mom, I want to see you happy. Bottom line, your kids want to see you happy, whether it's the mother or the father. And as long as you're co-parenting together and you can communicate and not fight in front of your child, your child is watching you.
Yeah.
So when you communicate and you're happy that you communicate and let the child know that, hey, Mom and Dad are not together, but we can make this work. We can co-parent.
Well, I think it's something
That
deeper
sounds-
than just mom and dad are not together, because in the beginning, Mom said the last guy she was dating was not the child's father. So she, whatever reason daddy ain't around, it's been for a minute that
Right.
mom is.
I think that the child is used to, having the mom.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
Pretty much.
And not, and the child doesn't want to share. I think in that particular situation with this particular person, she probably needs to think about when she allows her daughter to know that she's dating someone.
Right.
I mean,
Right, so you bringing them in front of them.
you might need to
first
bring them.
date.
Yeah, you might not need to introduce your daughter to who you're dating. Go date. And
And
when it's
then-
serious,
Then
Well,
you
I'm
date.
gonna quote a great hood classic, Baby Boy.
Mama need a
gotta have
life too.
Wait, but
Mama-
your child, hold on. She said her child is hiding her keys.
Mama gotta
and
have
all
life
this.
too.
So-
Beat her ass,
Your child
goddamn
is
it.
12 years old. First off, Mama, I'm sorry, Ma, you might be a little fast because the fact that your child know you going out on
Right.
dates. And to, again, I agree with you. You shouldn't bring someone, whether it's the mom or the dad. I think that having these ancillary dates, whatever,
Good word
they
usage.
should not be coming around the children until it's real.
Until it's
Right.
real.
You know,
At the
until
same
you-
time, Mama, you
Mama
have
gotta have
life
life
too.
too. Mama do that at life. Just keep it to yourself for a while.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
she gotta
Don't
know.
be sitting there talking to your 12
Watch your
daughter about this
conversations.
date you finna go on.
Like, go do that shit at work on your break. You know what I'm saying? Have that conversation.
I
I'm
knew
like,
that.
hey,
Look.
I'ma slide through.
It starts to sound a little trailer park to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I mean, I think
All
I get
right.
it.
Well,
Okay.
we helped you. All right, next question. My husband and I have a 19-month-old son and plan on trying for another baby soon. My husband's brother, who is sterile, called and asked my husband to donate sperm to him.
Wait a minute.
I'm very upset because my husband refuses to ask his brother to make any kind of compromises to protect our family and theirs, such as counseling to resolve any issues ahead of time. Before we were serious about each other, my husband donated to his brother's first wife. His brother wanted to keep it a secret from everyone, including the children, but his wife told all of her friends. What should I do? My husband afraid he's going to lose his brother if he doesn't give him everything he wants, but the person he's really going to lose is me.
Ouch.
I don't know what to say because at the end of the day,
It's
I mean,
family.
you are. I mean, he.
Get a lawyer, get a trust, get a will.
I mean, that's his limits. I
donate.
mean, but I can see it as from the brother perspective that cannot produce sperm. That it's something about a man that you want to keep your family going, your family name going, and it's some shame in that you can't be able to produce your own sperm. So it takes a
What
big
kind of
man.
shame?
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like the man is like his dangling.
Well, he's sterile.
It's-
If he's sterile, that means,
right.
don't that mean
Is
that
that
you winning
really
got
shame?
But that's the thing,
you-
though. He's
you can
sterile.
become sterile.
But that's the thing. He wants to keep the family name going. That's why he going to his brother.
Yeah.
Like, look, bro. Look, I
Right.
can't make my own, but can let me hold or something. So we keep the name.
About compromising, she said somebody's not willing to compromise. It sounds like, I mean, they have to have a family conversation, and everybody kind of has to be on
Hey.
board. And
She said that I'm very upset because my husband refuses to ask his brother to make any kind of compromise to protect our family and theirs.
Compromise like what, though?
Stop asking for his sperm.
I mean, but who else is gonna ask a
compromise,
random
it's like,
ass
do it or not
dude?
do it.
Adopt.
Ah. But she's saying
I'm
to
sorry, I
protect
don't
He's
know.
his
done
family.
it with this thing. He's done it once,
Yeah,
and now the brother's
I-
asking again. I feel like
One time is enough.
one time.
Yeah, I think that that's a lot to ask.
it is.
I think that's even you know I have two brothers. I think that is a lot to ask. If say I was married and had a wife, and we were having children, because now when you're married, you know your wife comes first. That's
Right.
how it's
Yeah.
supposed to work.
Cling to your wife
and then you
and-
have your family. So whatever decision he makes as the husband, it really does have to be discussed with the wife, and the wife is not cool. And it doesn't sound like she's being unreasonable. It's just like she's like, "Yo, we did it already." So it's
And then 20 years
it's
later-
a difficult conversation.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask of a
but
wife to be
it's
alive.
slightly weird,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it ain't my
it's
business.
a lot to ask. I can't get.
It's a
mad
lot
at
to
it.
ask.
It's a lot to ask.
So her question is, what should she do?
What should she do?
Baby,
She don't want her husband to get the sperm. She want her husband to tell her brother.
Stick to your guns.
well, stick to your guns. That's how
Yeah.
you feel. Cause think about it. 10 years from now, when you see that little Negro running around here, there's gonna be a problem.
Right, and you know it's
Sure
yours.
is.
Like the first time you do
Yeah,
it, it's
It's already touchy, but you can get it.
right.
Because how does that work? Do they said they don't
Just
tell?
acknowledge them as
Uncle
your
brother?
niece or
No,
nephew.
but they
You got the
they
Kardashians.
keep it a secret. No,
They know, yeah, they're not to tell the kids,
Right.
but the wife told the brother's wife told everybody, oh, his brother gave me his
that
sperm.
becomes weird for everybody. The child itself, it becomes weird.
That's my uncle, daddy.
That becomes
Slash
weird.
daddy.
On the low though.
How you explain that? How you explain that to your friends?
cousin brothers or
On
Like
on the low.
empire. They're gonna have their
Right.
own little empire.
How do you
going
explain
on.
that to your friends?
You
Yeah,
don't explain
that's
it to your
not cool.
friends. That's family business.
All right. So, y'all want to do one more?
Let's
Oh,
go.
boy.
All right. Okay, which one? All right. How about
I'm faded.
How can I help a friend who needs to stand up for herself and file for divorce? Her husband is in a high-profile job that's connected with hers. He's been having an affair with a coworker for years, and he's verbally and sometimes physically abusive. She's called the police twice, but didn't press charges. Friends are running out of sympathy, but don't know how to help her. Is it wrong to report his behavior to his employer, or is it wrong to report his behavior to his employer, even though he might get fired because of it?
Look
Stay
here.
out of it. It is not
that's
her
wrong.
business. That's not her business. That's her
It's
wife.
not your business.
Not your business.
But
Stay
she
out
likes
of it.
that. She loves it.
It
That's her
depends.
business.
It-
The
But at the end of the
Wait a
day,
minute.
Hang
Who
on,
made
hang on,
you
Andre.
God?
Hang on, Andre. Go ahead.
The friend is asking if the friend should report it to the
How can I help a
friend's
friend who needs to
husband,
stand up for herself and
and
file
she's
for
asking
divorce?
if she, as the friend, should report it to
Sure.
the.
I don't
To the
know.
authorities.
No, because
No.
her friend does not want him to get fired.
You paying
She don't want
bills.
to let him
Cha-ching.
go. Clearly,
Cha-ching.
She paying for that Maybach.
Mm-hmm. Cha-ching.
Yeah, they sound like they have a good life. Good
Leave
life.
it. Leave it. Mind
So
your
y'all
own
gonna leave
business.
this woman in
Basically,
this
mind your own
situation?
business.
That sounds so
Well,
wrong.
this is
don't
the thing.
mind your
No.
own
You
business.
can't- you can't leave
as the
anyone
friend
in this
though,
situation.
you can draw the line for your own self and create a boundary. You're like, look, I love you. I can't hear about this no more unless you do something.
Yeah, that's fair.
And whether she obliges that or not, then that's on her. And you move on. You just make yourself unavailable. This is tormenting
Yeah.
you so much because it sounds
Yeah.
like this is getting to you
Exactly.
because you can't do
agree.
anything about it.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
remove yourself from the
If
situation.
she's not gonna do anything, you shouldn't either.
Right.
Damn.
Only if she's truly
That's
in
true, though.
danger, if she's being hurt, then she can go to the authorities or whatever.
yeah.
But other than that, it's none of your business
You
what
ain't
those
heard
two
nothing. You
people
ain't
do.
seen nothing.
Yeah.
Don't ask, don't tell.
That's
That-
right. Don't be
shit.
petty. Don't get
I
on
don't
other
know
people's-
about that, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying though. What you gonna be Captain Save a
you
hoe?
can only talk to your friend about
Right.
it. You can counsel your friend. You can have.
I mean, I know you're
conversations.
tired of hearing about it, but at that point, then you can't make her do nothing.
Yeah,
So you just
and
gotta
you can't
remove
do
yourself.
it for her because if it was
Y'all
supposed
not
to
gonna be
done,
friends no more.
She would have done it.
All right. There's your advice, y'all. So we're going to take another quick...
Weaknesses as weakness does.
We're going to take another quick break.
Okay.
If you guys have a question, you can email us tacotalktuesday@gmail.com. We will do our best to help you out, whether you like the advice or not. But we're going to take a quick
We
break.
gonna
and
help you.
We'll be right back to let
We
you
gonna
guys know
y'all up fix your life.
what we are obsessed with.
Let's stand.
Everybody is on. Shots, 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 shots. Everybody! Shots, 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 shots.
Welcome back, you guys. Also, our intro music was shout out to Shawty Low, who unfortunately passed in a car accident in Atlanta last weekend.
R.I.P.
I
man.
couldn't play actual Shawty Low's voice because of copyright infringement. So
Yeah, hood though.
kind of remix.
Hood
But
though.
shout out to Shawty Low. All right, y'all. So now's the point of the show where we like to tell you guys what we are obsessed with. Like, let y'all get into our heads. So we're gonna start at the end of the table. Daryl, what are you obsessed with this week?
Well, I sent it to you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Check it right there.
Did you? You did? Did you?
What happened was Les Miles. You know, as you can see, LSU. This is my team. It's football season. We live by it, die by it. But they fired the man. So we're 2-2. We should have fired him last year, but we didn't. He galvanized the fan base, and they, helped pull him through to keep his job. But this year he started 2-2. He promised all these different offensive changes, and he did not deliver. Even I am one who was hurt that my quarterback can't throw a 5-yard pass, but that's just between me and all of y'all. So he got fired. I'm hurt. It's the end of an era, 12 seasons. 71% winning percentage, and we lost to Auburn. So I lost. So now Brandy gonna brag to me for the whole year.
Brandy, you said Brandy.
no.
Brandy, your friend Brandy is gonna be bragging to me for
Brandy.
the next year about who won and who lost. So shout out to Brandy. You ain't cute. Get your life together. I saw your feet. No, I'm playing. You got Brandy got pretty feet. But anyway, so that what happened. So I'm hurt, y'all. So
All right. What's your
Come back to
obsession?
me.
Come back.
Come back. Come back.
you got so much to say, but you ain't got nothing to say right now.
All right, what are you
Exactly.
obsessed with? Okay.
All right, Andre, what are you obsessed
What
with?
do you-
Okay, so anybody knows me knows that Andre don't cook. I don't know how to cook. I don't care to cook. I don't do the kitchen. I don't want to be in the kitchen. That's not my thing. However, I'm getting older, and I'm realizing that it's expensive to eat out every
It
night.
is,
Every
brother.
night. So I discovered HelloFresh. It's similar to Blue Apron, and it's a service where they send you. Yeah, I did it. I did that. Well, you'll see what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a meal.
Look.
So they send you the ingredients measured. You still got to chop some things and do some things, but they send you the ingredients
Make you
and the
feel like
recipes.
you doing some shit for real.
And no, I totally did everything that I did that, and I made a meal. And so that's my new thing. My new thing is HelloFresh, because I don't want to go to the grocery store. I don't know what to buy. I don't know how much to buy.
Well, how much does it cost for to say?
Well, here's the thing. So the first week is always they give you like $40 off, or $20 off. So this first week, this is my first week. I just did it. I'm just doing it. $20 for
Not
3
bad.
meals for 2 people. So this is not a
that's
commercial or
better
anything.
than Blue Apron because it's like $60 for.
Yeah, and so
Nah, same thing.
So that's what I'm doing this week. HelloFresh, making meals.
Okay.
Trying
Okay,
it.
go back.
All
I'm ready now.
Sandra, where you at?
Okay, what I'm obsessed with this week is, so I okay, I won't say I'm an artsy fartsy person, but I will say that I'm trying to be a more cultured person. Cultured, whatever, you know, I've been drinking. Okay. So what I'm obsessed with is, as you could tell by my dialogue this evening, is enhancing our culture. So I am a certain age, a milestone age +1.
Girl, you good, girl. You all right with me over here, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Yes. And so in 2014, I said I wanted to get a portrait, and a commissioned portrait of my children and myself. And at the time, I was single, so it was really important to me. But since the portrait has been painted, I've added in some significant things in our life. And what I want to do, I just received it today in the mail. It was shipped to me. It was humongous. It's humongous. So back to our culture and what is important and leaving a legacy for me and my children, I would like to have an unveiling in either in my home or in boutique type museum, African American museum. I know you guys know some place, and highlight the artist. The artist is from Chicago. Her name is Karen. She'll be out here October the 9th. And I really want to make this happen and bring all, you guys are my college babies because you know my children. Not saying my age, but anyway.
I don't know your children.
No, I really don't. I love that.
But that's saying that we are a great people. We have culture that we are, and the way it is posed, she did such a great job. I almost feel like what was that TV show with the oil people? What was that? The oil people that used to come on TV for a long time. You know, the whole family. They were really, really rich.
The Partridge Family?
No, you know that.
Dynasty.
Oh my God, the picture.
I
feel like Black Dynasty. I feel like Black Dynasty in that picture. Oh my God.
Dynasty. Okay, I do know Dynasty. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm serious. It is so beautiful. She's such a great artist. And I want to see more of that. And I want to pull in the local papers and do a story. I really want to have a really nice unveiling because we are a grounded people. We are very cultural. Yeah. We have a lot of talent. And this is something I'd like to see more and more Black people do is get portraits of their family and have these heirlooms in your house. Yes, it is.
You know what I really say, Sandra, this is so weird for me to call her Sandra, because we're on the show. But this is my really good friend Brad. This is his mom, and also a friend of mine, Latia, who's y'all have seen on Taco Talk Tuesday before. This is her mom. If I had a suggestion, I would say, because you do this amazing celebration every year at Kwanzaa.
I was thinking about that.
That was where I first met you at the Kwanzaa celebration. Okay. It's this amazing thing that she does every single year. That's my suggestion for the perfect time.
Okay, I'll do it at Kwanzaa then. I'll wait. Yay,
so that was my Sarah. I love that though. All right, so my obsession this week, you guys. So I don't know if y'all are familiar. Do you guys know who Jeff Bradshaw is?
No.
So he's a musician. He plays the trombone. So he's been around for a while, and this is actually something old that's now new to me. So in 2015, he released this album called Home, One Night Special at the Kimmel Center. He's playing with trombone, and he has all these cameos. Marsha Ambrosius, Tweed, Take Six, all these other artists coming out. But it's one specific cover he does. So y'all know Music Soul Child's Love. Mm-hmm. He did a cover to that, and Kim Burrell
killed it. I already know.
Sang.
I already know.
Listen,
killed it.
Again, this was back. The album came out in 2015, but I just heard it maybe Saturday or Sunday. I have a clip.
Okay.
Y'all, I cannot stop playing this song. Play the clip and then come back and give a little more on it. Should I contact his parents and inform them of his alcohol, cocaine, and ecstasy?
Let me see. If she would have called my mama, I would have been abusing more than drugs. What is in this? I need the fruit.
Sorry, y'all. It's so good. Like That little clip does nothing if you actually listen to it. Again, it's called Home, One Night Special at the Kimmel Center. Jeff Bradshaw, he plays the trombone. It's so dope. All the covers are good. That one is just my absolute favorite one on it. But if you get a chance, listen to it.
Quick note: Kim Burrell got me through after Hurricane Katrina. Like from 2005, like 06, 07, like that was a super hard year for me in Atlanta. And I will play her album on repeat. Like she literally got me through. Kim is the truth.
Kim does.
Real talk.
Very nice.
So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Real quick, everybody, let them know who you are, where they can find you, if you have anything coming up that you want to share, anything like that.
What's that? I'm Daryl Blaylock. You can find me on Instagram at Daryl Blaylock Jr., Snapchat Daryl Blaylock 6, and Facebook Daryl Blaylock. And I got a short film I'm doing. We're going to do the film festival route, and we're going to bring back Sex List the first of the year. So,
all right. Sandra Solomon, you can find me on Twitter at to be lean forever. For life. Right. I don't use it that often. But, I'm here. I like writing. You can find me on Facebook. I'm a project manager. If you have any special deals that you need a good event manager, project manager, I am here. And I also cook a good mean set of shrimp and grits. And that
is the will of God.
So, and also last bit is October 6th, I will be at the Gregory Porter show. Can't miss it.
What's Gregory Porter?
Oh my God, you guys don't know who Gregory Porter? Oh,
learn us something.
New segment, Gregory Porter. People, you know,
I
know. Greg, oh my God.
What is he?
He's a singer.
Yeah. Oh, he's a singer.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna have to school these youngins.
School me.
Dre.
School me.
Andre, you can reach me at Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, DreDog1911. I'm just working, doing my thing, doing some things in music, working with some artists, and that's that.
Go.
Y'all can find me on everything at Jeffro5. Where will I be? I will be in LA for a couple of weeks in October. It's a couple of travel plans. You can always find me somewhere.
Here you go.
I'll be out and about in October, but Taco Talk Tuesday will be here. If y'all have questions you want us to answer, email us tacotalktuesday@gmail.com. If you would like to come sit at the table, have a cocktail, talk some debate topics with us, email us at tacotalktuesday@gmail.com. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
We'll catch you guys next week.
We ain't sexing if you ain't getting paper. I take a rain check and see your ass later. Mano, let's go. Hello, they know we flow. Get dope for show. Hello, jealous boys, I blow them kisses like Jada. Big up to all my haters.